So super nerd spec, level 5000. I have all my pizza equipment in the luggage. My wife, my boys, and I are staying in an Airbnb in Longboat Key, Florida, and I want to make us some homemade pizzas one night for our vacation. My wife and boys are down at the pool right now, and I'm headed down there in just a moment, but I figured I'd take this minute to show y'all what I'm working with here. And inside of here, it's like almost amazing how suited this luggage piece is for all of this stuff. Well, first thing out, small stuff. Measuring cup, can opener, food processor here. Thinking of doing donuts again. Make some nice pesto in that. I got my proofing box, which again, just God, it fits so perfect inside of this luggage. And all my tools in here, scale, towel, thermometer, and scrapers. Look at this. The peel. The peel comes apart, so it like fits in there like super nice. And then on the side of the luggage, I've got the handle. Cheese grater, wheel. Couldn't forget my 1/4 teaspoon. Just in case, like they have stuff. Rustiest can opener ever. Ice cream scoop. They even have a pizza cutter. But, you know, I didn't know if they would. And then look at the bottom. Wrapped up in a towel, my pizza stone. I'm pretty sure whoever made the pizza stone like had luggage in mind, because this thing fits in there like perfectly. And then I got my flowers. Put them in the bag just in case they exploded in here, you know. Salt. My semolina. And I got my dry yeast right there too. And as far as the kitchen setup, like it's small, but like it works, man. This is probably like, I don't know, normal apartment or something like that. Here's the oven. Here's the butte I'll be working with. This is pretty modern right here. I'm just gonna move that rack on up to the top. Actually, not the very top, but like this guy right here. That's where I have it in mind as well. And look how clean it is in there. This thing must be like pretty new. The next day, after most of the morning at the beach, I unpacked my luggage again so that I could get started on the dough. Using the formula 56 minus flour minus ambient temperature minus heat transfer, all these numbers in Celsius, I was able to figure out the temperature that I needed for the water. This formula has led to a consistent dough for me every time. I was making 4 dough balls, so I needed 20 grams of sea salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of active dry yeast. Once my water reached 8 degrees Celsius, it was go time. 670 grams of flour and 422 grams of water made for a 63% hydration dough. I start by adding the active dry yeast to the water and mix it up. Next, I slowly add the flour and stir by hand until I get to the point where the dough is starting to take shape. At that point, I add the salt, then I turn the dough onto the bench and start kneading. I continue kneading until my dough reaches 23 degrees Celsius, then I cover it with a damp cloth for 2 hours. It was just enough time for us to go out for some dinner, take a walk around, come back, then cut the dough into equal pieces, form them into dough balls, and put them in the proofing box. The next day, I prepped my tools and the oven, putting the oven rack near the top broiler and sliding in the pizza stone. Got the Florida sauce, I got these 3 bowls, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some sauce in each of these bowls. My plan was to taste test 3 different types of sauce that vary in complexity of ingredients to see which would be best on our pizza. One of the other sauces I would simmer and use for our donut dipping. On this vacation, I loved taking my time, watching the ocean from the room, and making my pizzas. I added 1 sauce to my food processor so that I could blend together the tomatoes, basil, oregano, sea salt, pepper, and garlic. All right, so noob experience there. That was just a little bit too heavy on the oregano. Now I know for next time. I'm just adding this bit of sauce here in. This will be a comparison of one or the other. We're gonna use the very simple sauce, or we're gonna use the one that has more flavored ingredients to it. Let's see. I just added a whole bunch of the sauce there. If anything, I'll just add some more basil as well, but we'll blend this up and then we'll see. I made one more simpler version of the sauce that didn't have garlic or oregano. Then it was on to making my pesto for our donuts. 1 cup of basil, 3 tablespoons of cashews, a 1/3 cup of olive oil, a 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese, store-bought already grated this time, basically a whole clove of garlic, and salt and pepper to taste. Now into some donut making time. I use semolina flour on the bench and pour it over my dough to prevent it from sticking to the bench and the peel. Hand spread the pesto around, add the mozz, cut into 4 pieces, making some hefty donuts. I pinch the bottom shut and roll the knot together, which gives it more of a cinnamon bun kind of final appearance. I turn them a few times in the oven to make sure that they're cooking evenly. Pizza making time. I always make my wife's pizza first, and she loves a classic margherita with light cheese. This oven was very similar to what I use at home, so there was no learning curve, thankfully, this time. I really was expecting like an old 50s oven here. Didn't get that. Then my pizza. A classic margherita this night for me as well. So it turns out you can do a pizza in a hotel oven, AirBnB, whatever you want to call it. And honestly, the result was very similar to what I get at home. It's a conventional oven, and this was a relatively new conventional oven, which I didn't expect at first. The donuts wouldn't change them at all. The recipe that I have going for that, honestly, I think is right on, and they cook so well in a conventional oven. The pizza, I know where its limitations are, and it's definitely in the dough. The dough is either slightly underdone or slightly overdone. And that's just the nature of cooking in a conventional oven. It's just not hot enough. The conditions aren't quite right for making a really authentic Neapolitan style pizza. I really want to get one of those Gosney arcs. That's definitely what I have my mind set on, but we'll wait till we get there. But anyway, Longboat Key, nice place. Making pizzas can be a messy process, and I am not an animal, so I made sure to respect this place and cleaned it all up. I take my time, just like I do at home, and I clean down my kitchen no matter where I'm working. I've never worked in a proper kitchen before, but I've watched enough Gordon Ramsay to know that cleaning is a crucial part. Clean kitchen, clean food. All in all, it was a great vacation. Packed everything back into the bags. Can't wait to do it again next time.